Hello, everybody. This is Jack Hammer. Sorry about the technical difficulties there getting started. Uh, but today I wanted to go ahead and take you through a little bit of film review of Trey Lance. Take a look back at his game against the Arizona Cardinals from earlier this season. Take a look at some of his performance there to get an idea of what we can look forward to on Sunday when the 49ers take on the Houston Texans, if indeed it is Trey Lance that's running the show for the 49ers, somewhat as expected following the injury to the right thumb of Jimmy Garoppolo. So let's go ahead and jump into the film review and get going on this. Uh, so there we go. So we're going to start off right from the beginning. It's going to run through relatively quick. Hopefully the connection will speed up and we'll be able to see this better as it's playing. There we go. So we're going to start off right here from the beginning. First and 10, 49er ball at their own 25 after the kick. And Arizona's going to be bringing pressure here off the right side. They're bringing more guys than the 49ers have to block. Lance does a good job of seeing this right off the bat and using his legs to get out of the pocket and scramble for a first down. And he holds the ball out there to try to gain an extra yard. Really nice job by Lance. You see 55 out there really wide. They're not going to be able to get to him. There's just not enough. And you have the J.J. Watt and the other rusher are tight inside. Five's going to have to break free, and Lance does a really good job of using his legs and sprinting for the sidelines. Really nice opening to the game for Lance, and then he backs that up here on first and 10 as well. This is going to be play action, and he's going to find Kyle Juszczyk out in the flat on the right side. Nice, easy pitch and catch, easy way for him to get involved in the game early on. Kind of get for Kyle Shanahan to get him involved. Just easy play action. It's got the double curls with the flat route to Juszczyk. Nice, easy read. Good pass protection by the offensive line on this one. See a little bit of a mix up there on the direction of the back on the play action, but nice, quick, easy read. Nice throw from Lance. Good start, and then this is where it gets a little goofy in terms of their game plan. First and 10, and again they're going to put the ball in Lance's hand on a run. Right up the middle. This is similar to how he was used at North Dakota State. Just taking the ball, and this is not a quarterback draw. This is basically like an ISO inside power type of a run where he's going to be following Juszczyk up into the hole. It's kind of like a wall type of play because they're coming inside instead of on the edge. Don't pick up anything there, and then here you have him underneath center. Normal 49ers offense, play action. He's going to get the deep curl, has a little bit of pressure, steps up, and then just airmails the throw over Travis Benjamin, and it's picked off. And this is a tough one for him because he gets to the top of his drop, and he's going to have this covered. He starts to step up, and he just needs to, he just drops his elbow a little bit as he goes to throw, pushes it, and airmails it over the top of him. Very similar to the interception we just saw on Sunday night. It's not the same type of play, but again, it's a high ball over the middle of the field that misses the target, and the safety is able to pick it off because it's an errant throw. And this is the only interception that he has in this game, but it leads directly to a touchdown for Arizona. So that opening possession there for Lance started out good with the nice 14-yard scramble, then the 16-yard completion to Juszczyk, and then you have this, and it really doesn't get much worse than of a start than you get here. Just gets his elbow, his elbow's too far down, doesn't get it up, and so the ball sails on him a little bit right over the top of 17 and into the arms of Baker for the interception, and Arizona turns that into a quick 7-0 lead. Then we come back on the next possession. They're going to run a toss here to Elijah Mitchell for a gain of 3. Typical 49ers offense, except for the running out of the shotgun here instead of having it under center. Here on 2nd and 8, you're going to get a pass, and it's going to be he's going to be looking for Travis Benjamin. Benjamin's up at the top of the screen. Let's watch this one as he gets to the top. He takes the out cut instead, and he gets the pass interference call. I kind of like the other read better for him on this one. I would rather see him go over the middle to Deebo Samuel on this. Just it's a cleaner throw. It's a cleaner look. Samuel's got him beat to the inside, and he's got all that room. It's against man coverage. I just like the fact that if he's going over the middle instead, it's a shorter distance for that ball to have the travel, which is going to help him be able to get that ball to Deebo. I'd rather have that ball going to Deebo Samuel anyway than Travis Benjamin. They get bailed out a little bit here by the pass interference. Definitely get bailed out on it, and pick up the first down though. This one, it just from this whole thing, you're going to see that he's looking to the right the whole way. He never even gives the middle of the field a look, and it's wide open. You can see at the bottom of the screen, you can see the fact that Samuel has a step on that defender, and it's there for the taking if he wants to take that middle shot. Instead, he goes to the outside, and it's a pass breakup. They get the pass interference call on it though. Then they come back here, 1st and 10. They're at the 44, and this is going to be Lance looking for a throw, and it's going to get batted down at the line of scrimmage. This is, this one looks like this is going to be designed. This looks like they're trying to hit Deebo Samuel on the over route coming across the middle, and it just gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look here and see if the ball get knocked down. There's the quick fake. And he's trying to get this ball out here to 19. And 96 just gets his big arm up and knocks it down. Second and 10. This is going to be a little swing out to the left, a little screen to Elijah Mitchell. Really nice. It's a nice, they're just running a screen with the tight end and the receivers using them as the blockers instead of having to worry about bringing their lineman out. Gets the ball out of his hand quick, easy throw. This is the kind of stuff I'd like to see more with Lance moving forward into this game. Get the ball out of his hands quick to his playmakers, and he's going to have Deebo Samuel again here this week. He's going to have George Kittle, who he didn't have this first time around. Instead, it was Ross Dwelley getting the majority of those snaps at tight end. That's a nice little play, though, for the 49ers. Nice little easy throw for Lance. Get the ball out of his hands quick. And then here it's going to be you're going to get an encroachment call on Arizona. So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 5. And this is where things get a little wonky here for the 49ers. They're going to get 1st and 10, and then we'll get to that here in a second. We're going to see they're going to try to get Mitchell on a run to the right side. They just didn't have a lot of success on the ground with Mitchell either early on. There's this one I think is going to the right. I think J.J. Watt blows this play up if I remember correctly. Yeah, he kind of just creates a pile right there. He doesn't make the tackle, but he kind of cuts everybody down. Watch 99 right here in the middle. They're going to miss him. And he just kind of creates a mess when he steps around the block. That's going to be McGlinchey there. McGlinchey's going to whiff. And then what happens is 99, because he's there, then it just all gets mixed up because now the pulling guard who's supposed to pull around and help lead up through that hole doesn't get there to get to 55, 58, and they drop it for a loss of only 1. So that sets them up 2nd and 4. Another run here by Mitchell to the left this time and up the middle. And McGlinchey just gets blown away by J.J. Watt on this one. He whiffs on the play before. So the whiff on the play before sets this one up. And now, after the the play before, what had happened was you saw Watt swim, give him like a swim move, gives him a quick step inside and then back out. And so then you come back to this one, and McGlinchey's trying to correct off of the play before, and then he just blows inside of him and gets it. So now they have 3rd and 7. And this is where they try to get a little too cute. This is the kind of stuff, I hope we don't see much of this with Lance this time around, quite so much. Instead of doing this, let's get the ball into the hands of Deebo Samuel here. Let's get the ball into the hands of Brandon Ayuk, one of those guys, instead of having the quarterback run your counter play up the middle. This isn't a quarterback draw. This is a counter. This is a quarterback counter. You're going to see the guard pull from the right side over to the left side. And it's basically the 49ers counter, except for they're running it with a quarterback. You got the fullback is the kick out man on the counter, and then you get the guard coming through, and he's your lead. See 44, his job right there, kick out the end, and you're bringing the guard around to lead up into the hole. And Trey Lance gets stopped for a gain of 5. So 3rd and 7, you get a gain of 5. That sets you up here in 4th and 2. But again, let's watch this. You're going to see 44. The running counter. 44 is going to try to kick out the end. They bring the guard around to lead up through the hole, and just not enough there for Lance. He's just not he's not a running back, quarterback. He's not playing in the FCS level anymore against guys that he can just run over like he did all the time at North Dakota State. That sets them up here on 4th and 2, and what do you think they're going to do? Come right back to the same play and run it the other direction, and Lance gets shut down for a gain of only 1. And it's a turnover and downs, and the ball was just, basically at the edge of their 49ers field goal range. That would have been about a 50-yard field goal attempt for Robbie Gould. But this is the same play. They're running the same counter. They're going to have 44 kick out, 75 is coming around. J.J. Watt gets too much penetration. 75 is not able to get over. He gets caught up, and because you're not able to get a clear lead into the hole, Lance gets shut down for a gain of only 1, and the 49ers turn it over on downs and lose points. Again, this is what you don't want to see. You don't want to see if the 49ers are trying to attempt this stuff in the running game against this week, it might work, but there's just no reason for you to be doing this with your franchise quarterback when you can do this kind of stuff with Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson Jr., or Trey Sermon if Trey Sermon is activated this week. But that one just gets blown up by 99. And the 49ers turn it over. So here we are now, two series into the game. You have the interception on the first one, and then you come back from that, and you're kind of moving the ball. It's a little hit and miss. You had the one pass play that was batted down. You get the PI on that, then you have the pass knocked down to the line of scrimmage, and then you follow up with that with an easy little screen that picks you up 14 and gets you across midfield, all the way down to the 45 there, or to the 42, excuse me. But you're right there, and it's just it's been a little bit of a tough start for the 49ers offense, but they've still moved the ball here twice across midfield and walked away with no points. Now we go back to the next possession. They're going to start at their 6, and this is the one this is the drive. This is a really nice drive for Trey Lance here, starting backed up, 1st and 10 at their own 6. Play action. And he gets quick pressure. Look at all the pressure coming at him. He does a good job of kind of getting out of there. Deebo Samuel's alive out there where he could, maybe throw it to him. But this is the situation where, having a guy like Trey Lance instead of Jimmy Garoppolo pays off, because he doesn't have to throw it out there to him to make the yards. He can take off and start running and make those yards on his own. And the scramble picks up 11. Nice run by Lance there. It was a really good job of him. He gets quick pressure off his left side, and just the pocket collapses quickly, and he does a good job of faking out there to Samuel, and then picks up the first down on his own, and just about knocks McGlinchey out for the season on that one. And then they come back from there. They're going to, big play on the ground there off of the pass, and now you're going to get a nice toss here to the left under center. 49ers doing what they do so much, motion that guy over. Nice little kick out and nice run by Mitchell there for 9 to open up the drive. It's really nice, well blocked. And they're going to come back here on they got 2nd and 1, and they're going to go stick with the run game now out of the pistol. Just the counter again, and you kind of get a little bit of a counter look there with the motion coming across. Let's see what the linemen do here. It's just this is basically just an inside zone, is really what it is. Inside zone, you got the tight ends coming across to kick out the backside end to keep him from being able to crash down on the play, and then you just let the back find kind of feel his way, and he's able to explode up through the middle for a nice 9-yard gain. So 3 big plays in a row here, 11, 9, and 9, and now you're going to get a nice play action from Lance to Deebo Samuel. How many times have we seen this season? It's just it's a simple play action with over route coming across from the right to the left. We've seen them do this so much. Watch it one more time. There's your play action, hit the back step. You're going to have that over route come, and he has the hole right here between the 2 linebackers is where he's throwing it, over the top of them. A little bit behind Samuel, but doesn't really change the outcome of the play at all. Deebo does a good job of getting up, catching the ball, and so 11 yards on the first play, 9 on the second, 9 on the third, and then here, Lance with a little bit of movement, stepping up into the pocket, and finds Samuel there. Now you flip the field on the 39-yard line here, and we're back to the quarterback draw. Excuse me. No, this was not a draw. That one's going to be coming up. But this was it's not a screen, but just a nice little under throw from to Deebo Samuel. And this needs to be caught. This should be a reception. He's got him. He's throwing it to the right spot. He gets it right in front of him. And this was the point in the season, if you remember, Deebo Samuel had a number of drops in the first half of the year. He was really struggling with catching the ball all the way up through the Chicago game. And I think even early in the Chicago game, he had a big drop. He's since kind of sorted that out, but that's just a big drop. He's got to catch that. He makes that catch there. He's going to pick up another couple of yards, and it sets up a 2nd and short. Instead, you have 2nd and 10. They're going to eventually be picking this up, but they get here 2nd and 10, wide open. They bring Trent Sherfield in the backfield, and then you run the draw. I would expect to see, with the way the 49ers are running things now, that's going to be Deebo Samuel in the backfield there with him. You just see how quickly everything, the holes just close so much faster here compared to what he's used to. If you watch this college film, his ability to break off big runs at North Dakota State, that just doesn't happen here. He still gets, a nice 7-yard gain, but that's a much bigger play at North Dakota. And then this is one of his best throws, just a nice little stop route on the outside there, and he puts it on the outside shoulder of Brandon Ayuk. And this is kind of one of the games there early in the season. Ayuk was kind of in the doghouse, but they were throwing the ball some to him, and he came up with some really nice catches in this game. And that's one of them there. It's on the outside shoulder. He's got to grab that with his hands. He does a good job to bring it in. Lance does a really nice job with his ball placement here, getting it to the outside shoulder away from the defender to where only his receiver can make the grab. You can really see it here. It's a little blurry, but it's, he's all over him, and he puts that thing about the only spot that Levin's going to be able to make the catch. And that's a really nice throw out of Lance. Then you get to 1st and 10 here at the 26. This looks like I think this is going to be a zone read. Yeah, the guy steps down. Lance holds on to it, and nice gain here of 7. As soon as Golden steps down, he pulls and goes. I hope they don't. We'll see them. We might see a little bit of this on Sunday, but it's really not. Doesn't play to the strength of Trey Lance's of the game for Trey Lance. 2nd and 3 here. You're going to get a run to the left by Elijah Mitchell. These are the types of runs that we've been seeing. Instead of Mitchell getting these, they've been going to more Deebo Samuel. These are kind of something. This is like similar to what we've been seeing Deebo score touchdowns on over the second half of the season, as he's been more of a runner. His ability to just get to the edge and scream down the sidelines compared to Mitchell. Mitchell's a much better inside runner than he is on the outside, and then you kind of get the power back with Mitchell and the speed with Deebo. And that's not even. And Mitchell is a fast back as well, but if he just keeps taking that thing to the pylon over there, I understand cutting up, but then fading up, to kind of to slow that guy's down, take a step up inside, but then just keep taking that thing to the outside would have been much better for him. Sets up 1st and goal at the 5, and here's another drop by Deebo Samuel. Again, early in the year, he was struggling. This is the 2nd drop of the game. Just a quick, easy screen. It's on his back hip instead of on his upfield shoulder where it should be. The ball's got to be out in front of him a little bit instead of having that on his hip. I know it sounds small, but it's a big thing. And that you just get it to him upfield, get him a little bit upfield, and kind of lead him up into the run instead of having to hit on his back hip. And you can see the blocking is then to be there. He's got these 2 guys on the bottom are blocked, and he's got 60 coming around, and he would have picked off the other guy. It would have been a touchdown probably if he puts the ball in a little bit better spot, or Deebo Samuel just holds onto the ball. They don't get either though, so that brings up second and goal here from the 5. They're going to go back to Lance though here on second and goal from the 5. Another running play for Lance. There you go. It's that kind of a lead play again, and he's able to power it down to the 1. So you had a chance at a touchdown. Mitchell doesn't get in there, get you to the 5. You have the drop by Samuel, and now Lance gets you up to the 1-yard line. And this is the position now where the 49ers, you just need to get up under center, hand this ball to the running back, and let him go. Instead, here you're going to run play action. Kyle Juszczyk gets tackled at the line of scrimmage, and the blocking's not very good, so Lance has to kind of just do what he can to get the ball out of his hands. But if you watch this, Juszczyk gets tackled right here, and then you've got it looks like McGlinchey getting beat on the backside. Let's watch where that comes from, that pressure. Yeah, see, here's Mike McGlinchey. He's going to get beat. The man slides off of him. They got everybody kind of tackled, just a big pile right here. Watts beating McGlinchey, and now it's time for Lance just to make something happen. And he just throws this ball up and away. Smart decision to just throw it away, burn it, and keep yourself at the 1-yard line. So it's actually a nice play by Lance to be able to get the ball out of his hands, and but not try to stick that ball onto a receiver where 9 can make a play. Just throw that thing over his head and go to the next play. It would have been nice to have seen Garoppolo do that on Thursday against Tennessee. That would have changed, I think, a lot about the way that game had played out if you just thrown that ball away when you had the tight end covered. Now from under center, they're going to do play action, roll him out to the right. And instead of taking this head on, he's got to take this to the pylon. This is the kind of play that he would have made at North Dakota, and it would work because he was bigger and faster than most of those guys. But in the NFL, these guys are going to come up, and you're not going to run them over like you did some kid at when you were with North Dakota. So this time he's in the NFL. He needs to continue that angle out here to maybe if he wants to, he can kind of fake a step up there, but he's got to try to bring this out to the edge and dive across at the end. Instead, he keeps his head down and gets dropped at the 1, and no points for the 49ers there. So a really nice drive on this series all the way down for Lance. Again, you had the scramble to open up this drive. You had a couple of nice runs by Mitchell, but then from there it really became about, for the most part, about Lance. He had the 26-yard completion out there to Samuel. That was the big play in this drive. off the play action on the over, which is something that he ran a lot of at North Dakota State. He comes back on the next one. It's a nice, easy little underneath throw to Samuel, who drops it. Then as a draw by Lance, and it's you just have the two drops by Deebo Samuel were rough on this play and on this series, and then you have the play at the goal line there on 3rd and 2nd. That's a curious call instead of just running it up in there, and the same thing on 4th and goal. The 49ers, we've seen, how many times have we seen them now over the second half run get up to the 1 yard line and just turn around and hand it off to Mitchell or Jeff Wilson Jr. for a touchdown? That could have made all the difference. Again, we're not even taking yourself to 4th and goal, and then at 4th and goal, that's where Lance just needed to take that to the pylon. So that's this one here. Just take this thing all the way to the edge, dive across at the end, try to stretch that ball out and see if you can get it in there. You're not going to run guys over. It just isn't going to happen at this level. So it's 10-0 now, and you're going to be starting at your own 25. Zone read, and Lance doesn't read it properly. There's nothing about this play that says that he should keep it. He's going to open up. He's going to read. Let's look at it when he gets there. He's got 44 already standing right in the hole in front of him. He's not squeezing down hard. Look at how wide he is already. He doesn't see this guy getting beat. But this ball should go to 25 up inside. I don't think either one of them are going to get anywhere because it's not blocked up very well. But the read there wasn't to pull. It was to give. And then this one shows the speed of the game difference. Look at it makes sense to go into the flat, but look at how quickly, from the time that he turns to make the throw out to Juszczyk, the cornerback is 10 yards off, 10 yards deep in his coverage, falling off, and he's reading the eyes of the quarterback the whole way. He's not even looking at the receiver. He can see the receiver out of the corner of his eye, so he doesn't have to stare at him. He's staring at the quarterback. So as soon as Lance turns and separates his hands, watch 23. As soon as he starts to throw, he's planning and going, and that ball gets dropped. The only other spot I can see this maybe going for Lance is if he wants to take a shot up the seam. It's gonna, it's gonna be really tight there as well to Ross Dwelley right now if he throws it right here. And the only reason I said is because you've got this linebacker is turned. He's running into the deep hole with the other tight end. So Dwelley's open here. It's going to be a tight fit, but if he drills this over and kind of stops him instead of leading him up the field, he actually has him open. And he has the arm strength to get it in there. The safety opens up, but that's because the ball's coming out here. He's reading the quarterback. But if he had gone inside, we've seen that happen a number of times with Jimmy Garoppolo, right, where he throws that pass over the middle and Kittle is turned and he's catching it, getting hit from behind as the ball arrives. That's how that ball needed to be thrown down the seam right here. It's going to be, again, it's a tight window throw. It's a little bit of a tight shot, but I think he could get it in there. He throws it right now, but he never really even looks there, though. He kind of looks to the left. He never really even looks to see where see the seam of Dwelley. If we look at it from behind here, let's watch his head. He might go to it quickly as he's coming across, but he's looking to the left. He looks there. He's looking to 89. See, he never gets across to Dwelley. He looks left, he looks to 89, and then he hits the dump off on the right side, and it's dropped for a gain of only 1. So that brings you up to 3rd and 11. So he comes off of that, though, and this is probably one of the cleanest passes that he has in this game. 49ers run this dagger concept so well. You get the guy up the seam with the in cut behind it. You have Ayuk, and then you have 6 coming in behind him, and he's got 6 wide open. He puts it right on him. It's a perfect ball, and Senu just drops it. 49ers had a number of drops out of that third position this year. He steps up into the hole. This is just a really nice ball. He drives it in there and hits him right in the hands, drops it. I know the ball's a little wobbly. Definitely not a nice tight spiral like you'd like to see. Believe it, I mean, it just makes the catch harder because the ball is already hard enough as it is, and then he's got the velocity behind it, and then the wobble. But that's got to be a completion by Sanu. He's got to catch that. And then this one here, he's got him open, and he just makes a bad throw. It's not open early. This is this is what you like to see, right? This is partly why you have them. There's kind of nobody really open. Maybe the guy in the flat, but the guys downfield, the primary receivers are all covered. He starts bouncing around, escapes the pocket here, and he has them open. He has them open. And it just takes him so long to get the ball out of his hands, and then by the time he finally does, it's a grounder. This is just a bad. This should be a completion. This should be a first down. I understand you're not. This isn't going to be a first down for Jimmy Garoppolo because he's not going to make this play with his legs, right? You're not going to see him getting out of here. But this is partly why you brought this guy in, is because you want him to be able to make these throws. And I think his arm gets hit as he's making this throw at the top. But look how long he's turned trying to get the ball out of his hand instead of just moving and getting it out. There's really no reason for him to turn his hips as much as he does. Just turn and throw it. Yeah, his arm gets hit as he's throwing. That's why it's such a bad ball. But that ball should have come out quicker. Again, speed of the game stuff. It's a big difference for Trey Lance here than it was, at North Dakota. That's it's Division I AA. That's the old Division I AA. It's not Division II. It's 1 AA. They call it FCS now instead of FBS. Just nothing there on the toss to the left for Mitchell. Picks up 1. But then from there, as I often say when we look at Jimmy Garoppolo film, one play, it's a bad one. How does the entire series end? From there, he comes back here though, and it's 3rd and 9, and this is going to be a really nice job by Lance. They're bringing pressure. He sees it coming early, and does a good job of getting it out to beat the rush. Nice easy throw out to Juszczyk, who does the rest, for a nice gain of 18. So the bad play on first down. Where that should have been a first down, it should have been a completion for about 12. It doesn't work out. They get this one here, so they're able to get themselves to a 1st and 10 situation. And they're on the Arizona side of the field at the 45. This one is going to be a holding on Trent Williams. Really, this is on the quarterback holding onto the ball. It needed to come out early. He's got it. This is a situation where you've got pressure coming at you, and he's got to get that ball out. He has he has 19 early on the route, but he holds on to it. Let's go back and see that one because he is open. You have 19 right here at the bottom. He's on the bottom just to the right side of the hash. And he's open right now, but because of where the quarterback is, he's not seeing it, and he's open already. He was open earlier than that, but let's take a look at it one more time. We're not doing it on slow mo. It's regular speed, so let's watch it here. Right here, you can see he wants to throw it. He's looking somewhere, but right now, this is where the ball should be coming out to Deebo Samuel. He has Deebo breaking open right now. He might not be number 1 in the route. That's the only reason why it wouldn't be coming out. But he hits his back foot, and he's trying to get that ball out of there. He wants to. He eventually gets it over to Samuel, but you got the holding call behind him because of the timing getting screwed up on the route. Let's look and see where he's looking, or try to get an idea of where he's looking on this one. It looks like he's looking towards the Kyle Hughes check on that one, or maybe at 82. He's definitely not looking at 19. And you got a quarterback draw here to pick up 7, so they get a little bit of that penalty yardage back on 1st and 20. Sets them up with 2nd and 13. They do a good job here. They're over back across the 50 at the 48. And they're going to do a nice job here. A little screen to Deebo Samuel. This is similar to what they were trying to run at the goal line. Get it over to Samuel, pick up 6. So you've taken it from 1st and 20 down to a 3rd and 7. So a nice 3rd and manageable situation here. And then here on 3rd and 7, you're going to get a quarterback run, but you're going to get holding on McGlinchey. Let's see the run that they decide to use here. It's that quarterback, counter again. You've got the down blocks from everybody. Then you got the other 2 guys. One's going to kick out. The other one's leading up to the hole. McGlinchey gets called for the holding here. He's going to grab Watt, I believe it is. Yeah, you can see him kind of dragging him at the end there. If he doesn't hold them, that's going to be a tackle for Watt. Instead, he kind of pulls him through. Just doesn't look very, very crisp in the blocking and the area and in the way that Lance is attacking the line of scrimmage, because he's kind of running into the right into where that man is. And when you watch the way that McGlinchey's blocking, he's blocking him right down into it. 3rd and 17. They're going to give you the middle of the field all day long to keep you short, though. So nice, easy completion over the middle to Dwelly. But you're not going to be able to pick up the first down here. They're just playing soft. You're stopping. Everybody's running curl routes or some kind of a stop route. Yeah, that's just not going to. It's just not going to get it done. They end up having to punt. Excuse me. It gets them to 4th and 5. So they're actually not going to punt on this one. Nice drive there. The thing here, maybe this was a situation where Shanahan had realized where they were here in the 3rd quarter, and they were going to just go for it regardless. He just was trying to make it a 4th and manageable. This is kind of the same situation, the same area of the field we saw them go for it on 4th and 6 last week on Thursday night in Tennessee. And then this is a really nice pitch and catch by Lance out here to the left side. He's got his man open, and he does a good job of getting it out to Sanu. Would have been, it's a little bit tougher than I think it needs to be in terms of the location of the ball, but he's going to the right spot, and Sanu does a really nice job of catching it. You've got these underneath defenders make it a little bit hard for you to keep it any closer than he does. Almost draws him into 33, but a really nice catch by 6 and a nice throw by 5 to convert the 4th and 5. Foreigners are doing, they're doing a good job. Lance is doing a good job of kind of battling through it. It's not a nice, consistent, easy flowing game. This is the game where there's a number of holds and those types of things. Lance here, they just run they run the zone, the read option to the left side, and he holds it, and it's going to be a short gain, but you get the holding on the edge by Travis Benjamin. I think Lance kind of, Lance this is going to come out like this is pounding on Lance. But part of the reason you get this called is 17's expecting this to come up inside. So now when the quarterback takes it to the outside, he does, he loses track of where he is, and so he grabs him and he gets the hold. If 5 it cuts that up inside, you don't get the hold because he's already in a good spot, and he's not having, all of a sudden he's not reaching out to the left. But again, they're down there in a good spot, and they have this penalty. It drops them back to 1st and 20. You're going to get a nice little completion on the stick route out here to Charlie Warner for 4. 49ers run a lot of plays here to go from their own 36 just to barely, this drive started on the 49ers 36. They worked this ball away, at one point it's on the Arizona 34. And when the 49ers end up punting, they're at the 46-yard line. So a very short drive as a result of the penalties and so on. And you're going to see here, Lance is going to get sacked. I'm not sure. This ball needs to come out. I'm not sure what he's looking at. He's looking to the left side. The corner at the top of the screen starts to bail, so this ball needs to come out to either to Mitchell or across the field to Huschek coming the other direction. But he's already looking left, so the easy look at Mitchell's up there. He's wide open. The corner's bailing. Get him the ball. Let him pick up some positive yardage here on 2nd and 16 and give yourself a 3rd and manageable. Instead, he holds onto the ball and they end up getting sacked. But again, he's got the receiver right there, right in front of him on the left side. This is the play that we've seen. I think it was against Arizona. Jimmy Garoppolo got sacked on this same play. I don't remember what it looks like in that game, but on this one, you've got the deep receivers covered. You've got the check down wide open. You just need to hit the check down, pick up some positive yardage, and instead he holds the ball. And then that brings up the 3rd and 22. And then here on 3rd and 22, it's going to be he tries to go out to the left side and takes a shot. Might as well throw it up, and if it's picked, it's a nice punt. Throw it down there. It's not completed. Let's just take a look and see if there was anywhere else for him to go with the football though before he bails. He gets to the top of his drop. He's getting some pressure. Nobody's looking. The only other thing that I could say on this one is that maybe you throw this ball to. That's a tough one though. I would say maybe to Mohamed Sanu at the top if you throw it right now instead of doing what he's doing in the backfield. I understand that it's a long developing route because of the depth, but maybe it's there. But that would have been a tough one, and it's almost better that he takes off and sprints out to his left and throws it away. Let's see from this end zone view if we can see 6. Yeah, Trent Williams just gets beat too early for Sanu to be the target. That's probably where they were going to try to get to. Williams just gets beat too quick. I like the fact though that he has the presence of mind that it's 3rd down and just to take the shot down the field. If it gets picked down there, he gets picked, but it's not a problem. You're taking the shot. I do like that part of that play. And then you open up your next possession with a false start by McGlinchey. The 49ers just shot themselves in the foot so many times in this game. For 1st and 15, it's going to be play action. Yeah, it's just a play action with a comeback up there on the top. Receiver needs to take that a little bit more to the sideline. He's coming straight back, and the defender is falling right into the throwing lane on Lance, so he's got to kind of put it away from him. He doesn't want to get a pick here on 1st and 15. With where he just even then, look at the air under the ball. It's not even close. He's just basically throwing that one away, not even giving his receiver a chance. Then 2nd and 15, you're going to get a hold on McGlinchey. Again, on this one, I'd like to see why this ball doesn't come out early to Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel's up here at the top of the screen, outside the numbers. He's going to just be running across. It's like a little screen to him, basically. They're trying to run it looks like they're trying to run a leak with Juszczyk at the top as well. But when you get to the pressure here, just get the ball out to 19. McGlinchey gets beat quick around the edge. It's a rough one. I think 5's trying to hope that he's going to be able to hit the deep shot to Juszczyk off of the stutter and go. Very similar to what we saw the 49ers try to run last week when Juszczyk was wide open, but it's not the same play, but it's similar. They're trying to take a shot to Juszczyk there with the underneath route coming from, because watch Juszczyk. He's going out there. He's looking like he's going to try to block, but then he releases and tries to get up the field. So they're trying to take the shot play. 69 gets beat around the edge. 5 doesn't get it underneath to 19, and starts to scramble. And 69 just holding on for dear life to try to not get his quarterback crushed because he's getting beat. So hopefully the 49ers are going to come out this week with a little bit more of a run-heavy game plan that doesn't revolve around the run heaviness being their quarterback, because you get that, and now you're going to get this is the really nice throw on 2nd and 25. Takes the shot to Brandon Ayuk, who then does the rest and is able to squirt out of there and pick up a first down. But this is really tight coverage across the board, and he puts this ball in the only spot that it can to Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk's very well covered. His outside arm is free, and that's where Lance puts it. It's a really nice, accurate ball by Lance. If he can show that kind of accuracy repeatedly, he's going to be deadly. He's thrown it a couple of times in this game, and there's a couple of times where he hasn't been quite so much. That's the issue that you dealt with him early on, and it'll be interesting to see if he's kind of cleaned that up in his game a little bit here over the last what has it been, 10 weeks, 11 weeks since he's last played in a game. And then on top of that, they get the roughing call at the end, so that puts them 1st and 10 at the 33. Here's that quarterback counter that they've been working on. They've been running this throughout the game, and this time they're able to get it blocked up a little bit better, and you're going to get 5 up through the hole. You're going to see Juszczyk with a kick out, 6 with a lead, and it's blocked up really nice, and he's able to get a gain of 7 here on first down. 7-8 yards. And then here we're looking at 2nd and 3, and you're going to get a run up the middle by Elijah Mitchell. The counter run again, but this time it's with the running back, and they're able to pick up 12. Nice job by 25 of kind of just stepping through that tight hole and stepping over the lineman. Really nice run there to get it down to the 14. And then you're going to get the zone read here to the left side. To the right side, excuse me. And Arizona does a nice job of filling this time with the safety coming down. It's a good read on this one by Lance, but Arizona's safety does a nice job of coming up and filling the lane. And he's lucky he doesn't get hurt there with his helmet off. But this is a good read. You're going to see Watt slamming down, so that's where you pull, but they do a really good job with their option responsibilities. Arizona does, and 34 makes the play. And then from here, this is what we've seen the 49ers do all throughout this last run, right? Put 19 in the backfield, toss him the ball and let him play running back, and he does it here and scores a touchdown. Expect to see a little bit, expect to see more of that on Sunday against Houston. Houston comes into this game giving up just under 5 yards a carry. They're one of the worst run defenses in the league. Hopefully the 49ers decide that they're going to run the ball hard at them and get Deebo Samuel out on the edge on some runs like this. So that was a good drive there. Kind of a rough start at the beginning. You had the holding call on McGlinchey. He sets him back to 2nd and 25 after he already had been called for a false start. But a really nice ball from Lance to Ayuk with a nice run after the catch by Ayuk along with the roughing. And then you have two really nice running plays there, one by Lance, the other by Mitchell, and then sets you up with Deebo doing his thing we've been seeing him do throughout the second half of the season. Just nothing there for him on the right. That does a nice job here getting that one out early to Mitchell. Mitchell does a nice job on the run. Let's just watch it one more time from this angle. Does a good job early on of seeing the man coverage and taking it. He also has the guy up here at the top of the screen. If he had stayed on the right side, it looks like it's Werner. I'm interested to see how he performs this week when he has George Kittle with him. He didn't have George Kittle out there in this game. Would like to see how much they are able to incorporate Kittle into the game plan and Lance throwing the ball to George Kittle. That'll be one of the things to kind of keep an eye on, because that's Kittle's really the only player that's different from when you look at the way that the 49ers offense is working now. The only changes are that you have Deebo Samuel. He's running in the backfield in this game. That's how they scored the touchdown. And then you have Brandon Ayuk making some plays for him. You have Deebo Samuel making his plays for him. The one thing that you're missing from this game that you're going to get this week is in terms of the weapons for Lance is Kittle. Also, Mohamed Sanu has been replaced by Juwan Jennings. Jennings has been up and down a little bit. He's been pretty strong at times, but he's also been dropping the ball quite a bit in recent weeks. Nice run by on the scramble here by Lance. There's nothing open. He takes off. He uses his legs. This is a nice run on his part. I like the fact that when he starts to step up right there, you can see that he's still keeping his eyes down the field. He's still in a good throwing motion or throwing position. He starts to move, but he's still in position to throw. I just don't like the ball coming down quite as far as it does. I'd like to see him keep that up here and throw it from here instead of dropping and coming up and around. That's kind of why you get that push that he did on that throw earlier on, where he sailed it over Benjamin's head. Gain they come back from that nice run. They get a nice 4-yard gain. Looks like it's going to set them up on 2nd and 2, and instead you get a hold on Ross Dwelly on 44 there. Without that hold, you probably don't get anything because that guy's starting to slant into the play. So that's a rough one there for the 49ers offense. 1st and 20, you're going to get the quarterback run for a gain of 1 on a draw. Arizona started to look for that as the game wore on. Try to take it away. Second and 19. You're going to get another scramble here out of Lance. Let's see what he's looking at before he takes off. He's got 2 guys there if he wants to throw it to him, but instead he takes off the other direction. And he's going to pick up about 5. He picks up about the same on the run as he does if he had just thrown the ball down to the bottom of the screen. He's looking out here to the left side. And he's got his running back open. I wouldn't necessarily take the shot here to Dwelly, but I would take the shot to the running back and then let my running back, Dwelly is basically a blocker with his back there. You're probably going to pick up more yardage that way than you do with the scramble here by Lance. I'm not sure why he passed it up instead of taking the shot, but that's what he does. That'll set up 3rd and 14. And this is that they did this earlier in the game too. I believe it was to Dwelly as well. It might have been to Werner. It's just that curl from the tight end over the middle, sitting down in the zone, and he's not able to pick up the first down. This is where the difference between having George Kittle be that guy and Ross Dwelly and Charlie Werner in there is that run after the catch ability. This is where you kind of get this ball in there, and you would expect to see George Kittle dragging guys across there instead of getting tackled short. And that brings up 4th and 1, and it's just one of the goofiest 4th and 1 plays you're ever going to see. I know the 49ers like to do this, but there's no reason to get super tricky like they do. But again, stay with this one. Nice ball by Lance. Good placement, and to the side of the linebacker there. Dwelly does a nice job of catching it. He just isn't George Kittle when it comes to the run after the catch. And instead of just lining up and running, you do this stuff with your fullback. He doesn't get there, and you lose another chance at points. And then this is I think there was a fumble right here that they picked up. That's why they're so far out by midfield to start the next possession. And Lance is going to try to throw this out here to the left side on the comeback to 11. 11's well covered. Ball gets batted down to the line of scrimmage. Lance has had a number of passes get knocked down to line of scrimmage this year. They do get they get a hold out there, I think, on no, they pulled it back. That's right. They threw the flag, but they pulled it back. And then here comes the run by Lance. Nice run off the right side. Picks up 6. That sets him up with 3rd and 4. And he's going to try to go to Brandon Ayuk here, and it's going to be an incompletion. Ayuk's in the slot on the right side. It's on the line of scrimmage just by the 0 there in the 50. And he has him, and he just airmails him. This is this kind of the stuff that you get. I mean, I know we want to go from Garoppolo to Lance, and Lance is going to bring you a lot of good things, and there's not a whole lot of difference in this throw between what Lance does here and what we see Jimmy Garoppolo do at times on throws over the middle, just like this. He's wide open. He just misses him. This is a tough spot in the game, right? You just got the interception or the fumble recovery. You're across midfield, third and 4, and you got the guy wide open. You've got 4 yards of separation. He's 7 yards off the line. He's 7 yards down the field. He's only about 11 yards away from you, and you just completely missed the throw. Got to get that down. Got to follow through, get that ball down, and drive it into his chest instead of throwing it over the top of him like you do here. Just a really inaccurate ball. And then that sets you up with fourth and 4, and we don't know what this is going to be. Again, same thing as the series before. It's going to get knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think it's probably a good thing that the ball gets knocked down. It looks like he's trying to go to. Is that going to be Deebo Samuel on the crosser? I mean, if this thing doesn't get knocked down, it's probably a pick 6 by this linebacker right here at the top of the on the far hash, who's coming across underneath to get it. So the fact that ball gets tipped to the line of scrimmage is probably a break for Trey Lance. Instead of getting a pick 6, it's a tipped incompletion. Because watch the linebacker just nines reading his eyes the whole way, and he's starting to step underneath it. It's either going to be behind Deebo Samuel or it's going to be picked off by the linebacker right there. So again, two back-to-back tough plays. You have the wide open receiver on an in cut. You overthrow him. You come back with that. You got another receiver on an in cut. You're trying to force it in there, and you get it's going to be picked if it doesn't get knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's a tough one for Lance. But they come back from that. This is the final possession of the game, and you get play action, and he's able to he gets some motion, and this is just a really nice reception by Deebo Samuel. Good job by Lance to kind of put it out there in a spot where he can make a play. It's a little high, but it's in a good spot. It's not one where he can try to put it on his chest. Good job. Feels the pressure, stepping out, and that's a heck of a catch by 19. Good job by 5 though to give him a chance to make a play, and that's a really good play on the backside by Samuel. Nice job there by Lance to hit the out quick and allow, he comes back. He had those 2 bad throws at the end of the previous possession. He comes out here with a really nice opener to Deebo Samuel, and then this is a nice ball to 6. He gets it to him in stride, and Sanu's able to turn the corner and pick up 13. Now you got the running game going, and now you're going to get the ball to Trey Sermon here, running out to the right side. One of those few carries of the game. He's able to make the first guy miss. They're bringing pressure, and because of that, the linebackers aren't able to flow. So it's going to be all about Sermon having to try to beat him around the corner, and he does a nice job here of doing it. Look how close the linebackers are, so they can't really flow across, and so they're getting caught. It's up to Sermon though. He's one-on-one with the defense, and he's doing the work. Nice run there for 7. That brings us to 2nd and 7. They're at the 29, and we're going to get. This is going to be a deep throw to Deebo Samuel on the right side. Yeah, he takes the shot down this one. I would rather see him throw the over route to Brandon Ayuk. He's got all the space in the world. Watch 11 here at the bottom of the screen. You're going to get this. The vertical route comes out of Deebo Samuel. He's covered. 11's coming across the field. He's covered, but the guy's behind him. There's plenty of room to work with because this guy's doesn't see the ball in the air anyway because his eyes are glued to the receiver. If he takes this thing and he throws it out to about the 10, maybe a little bit out in that area, in that vicinity, because look, this DB has no idea where the ball is. All of his eyes are focused on that. He just needs to throw that over, and they're working away from the safety. They're working away from the inside coverage. I understand the safety's there. Look how deep he is. He's walking. But if this ball gets thrown into this area, this vicinity, I'd say about the just to the outside of the numbers on the right side, that's a completion to Brandon Ayuk. Instead, he takes the deep shot to a covered receiver, and it's incomplete. And that sets up your 3rd and 7 play. From the 29, or excuse me, 3rd and 3. And he's going to be looking for Deebo again. Deebo Samuel's in the slot on the right side. He's on the line of scrimmage. It looks like outside of him, that looks like Kyle Juszczyk's on the outside. So you got Samuel on the inside there. He's going to be running it out. He's open, and the ball just gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Pressure. There's too many guys coming, but he's thrown it to the right spot, which you like to see. But the ball gets knocked down, and that's the ball game. They're going to kick the field goal there to make it 17 to 10. But that's the game's over with. They don't get the ball back. There's too much pressure coming off the edge, and ball gets knocked down. I mean, just taking a look at it one more time here to see. You see, you got really good pressure up inside. They're doing a really good job. There's nowhere for him to even try to run on this one. The only other option would be if he had looked to the left instead of the right, but he's got a nice read out there to the right. 19's open. And that's the ball game. 49ers kick field goal, don't get it back. So there's your performance by Trey Lance in the first game. I think when you watch what Lance brings to the table for the 49ers, he definitely brings the legs at times. You're going to be looking at a guy. We'll see how much development he's made from here in week 5 to where he is now. We're now going into week 17. In week 5, this start was a rough one for him. I think there were some good things that you saw in this game. Although he struggled a little bit as a passer at points, he also had some really nice throws. You kind of would expect him to have some rough spots. Obviously, it's his first start in the NFL. They put a lot on him by using him in the running game as well. But what you're going to be looking for this week is for him to make some steps from there. He only completed 52% in this first game. If he can get up to 60, 65, that should be better. That's kind of should be the area that you're looking for him to get to, kind of as his next step. A game plan that isn't so Trey Lance centric. A little bit more of what they've been doing lately, just handing the ball off, using Deebo Samuel even more out of the backfield. You saw it work here in this game with the sweep out to the left side. You want to see a little bit more of that and see what George Kittle can bring. In this game, the 49ers definitely dug themselves into a hole by some misses early. It wasn't all on Trey Lance. That the offense would move the ball at times, and then you'd get a holding call or he'd take a sack instead of hitting a check down receiver. So it's a little bit of back and forth there for Lance. But this week coming in here against a Houston team, the one thing I'm going to say is, Houston, when you look at their numbers, they're not a good defense. They give up just under 5 yards a carry, 4.7. They're one of the worst run defenses in the league. On top of that, they're one of the worst pass defenses when it comes to net yards per attempt allowed. But they offset that by being opportunistic on defense. They've intercepted 16 passes on this season. Houston has. That's more interceptions than what we saw last week out of a Tennessee team that was able to come away with 2. That's been huge to their victories that they've had recently. The Tennessee game, they had 5 turnovers to none, which was huge. They were able to get 5 takeaways in that game. They had 3 takeaways last week against Los Angeles. So those are 2 tough opponents that they beat, primarily off of takeaways, limiting the offense, the points against. So Trey Lance needs to protect the football, needs to play within the structure of the offense. And if he can play within the structure of the offense, if he's improved enough to where he's able to do that, the 49ers should be able to come into this game and win it going away. If he's not able to, and he's struggling with his reads and struggling with getting through his progressions, and the offensive line is breaking down like they were in this game, it could be a long day for the 49ers. So just play within the, if I was making any suggestions to Lance, it's just play within your game plan, play within your scheme, make some plays with your legs. Don't have to, don't try to feel like you have to be the hero and throw the ball into tough spots. If it's not open, just take, don't throw it into those tight windows. That could be an interception. So, uh, when you watch this film as well, at least in this game, you see a lot of the same misses that you see out of the quarterback that he's replacing. Obviously, one guy's started a number of games in the NFL. This guy's making his first start. Hopefully, we see that work through and not be something that happens moving forward. So that's it. That's what you see with Trey Lance. We'll see what happens on Sunday when the 49ers go. When Houston here comes to Levi Stadium and how that game works out. Keep it locked in here to my channel. We'll definitely be having some more content as the week goes on, and keep you guys all up to speed, guys and girls and men and women, up to speed on what's going on with the 49ers as they head into this matchup with Houston. No official word yet on Trey Lance being named the starter, but all signs are pointing in that direction that he's going to be taking over as the starting quarterback for the 49ers starting this week here against Houston. So thank you everybody for joining. If you could please hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what I missed or what I need to, if there's a play or two that I need to go back and look at, maybe I missed, let me know. I appreciate all the feedback that you guys provide. So thank you very much for joining. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll be back soon. Have a good night, everybody.